this is what I'm trying to get through to people, and just because they are so extreme, it is so hard to convince people that they are this extreme. That these guys don't believe in America. They don't believe in our system of government. These are not normal times. We have radicals in charge. And that's why when I said you can't negotiate with radicals, you can't compromise with radicals, you can't say, hey, follow the rule of the law sometimes, and other times just violate it because you're the strong executive.
You know, it's not quite on point, but one of the last blogs I wrote for AOL was on George Tenet, because I was so stunned by George Tenet's performance on 60 Minutes, and then you did a little more research on it, largely brought to us by former CIA analyst State Department analyst Larry Johnson, who was disgusted by Tenet. And so I just included those quotes that Tenet had given prior to the Iraq War for this guy who said that these guys wanted the war and I didn't know where the hell they were coming from. And then he goes up and goes, oh, Al-Qaeda and Iraq, they're the same thing, right? And I had 3 friends say, I liked George Tenet. I didn't know George Tenet had said that. George Tenet is not of the belief that we should ignore the laws, but no one knows still at this point all the things that these guys have done.
Okay. I'm going to quote a little bit more from the article because obviously I'm obsessed. Okay, because I can't believe we've come to a point in America.
This is Professor Mansfield's article.
Harvey Mansfield. By the way, before the show, I said to Ben, "Damn it, I forgot my notes at home." He's like, "How's it going to matter?" And I'm like, Professor Fried. Okay, anyway, so he says he has the power of pardon, referring to the president, a power with more than a whiff of prerogative for the sake of public good that cannot be achieved, indeed that is endangered by executing the laws. Do you understand what he's saying there? Sometimes you endanger the public good. Not only do you not help it, but you endanger it by executing the laws. So the president, whose whole job is to execute the laws, he's saying sometimes you're endangering people by executing the laws, so you should ignore them.
It's also
let me continue here. He says, in stormy times, the rule of law may seem to require the prudence and force that law or present law cannot supply. So he's saying the rule of law in stormy times is not good enough. And the executive must be strong. And let me finish it off with my favorite quote, and Glenn's favorite quote as well. He says, quote, a free government should show its respect for freedom even when it has to take it away. That's game, set, and match, folks. I mean, there it is. And this is the guy that they quote. This is the governing philosophy of the Republicans. A free government should show its respect for freedom even when it has to take it away.
That reminds me instantly. It reminded me of all those out there, horrible stories of abusive husbands, generally, right? I guess conceivably abusive wives sometimes, but generally abusive husbands who feel like they have to kill their whole family because they love them so much.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of argument they're making here. I mean, all right, so we'll come back to attorney, the number 2 guy at the Justice Department, James Comey, and why he was testifying. But just know what you're up against. And one of the reasons I like Greenwald is because he's dead on in what he says as an implication of this. Not only are the guys in charge radical, but what drives us crazy, and this is why I make such a big deal out of the media, is the media in this country don't get that they're crazy. They treat them, they're a normal party. Like, oh, it's the Republican Party of old, it's the Democratic Party, it's whatever. They're not normal. They're trying to take away our freedoms. And people go on like, oh, I guess sometimes freedom isn't a good thing. Strong executive. Interesting idea. Young Turks, Air America Radio.